Anxiety weighs a man's heart down, but a good word makes him glad again. It is no doubt, if you struggle with anxiety, I think we can all universally agree that it is wear and tear on your mental and physical. I mean, it is no doubt, it does something to you physically. When you're anxious, you don't want to leave, you're worried, you're confused, you don't want to make the wrong move, so it's like you just want to stay in bed, you want to rot, and it kind of can put you in a depressing mood. Anxiety can, and then mentally, like it just drains you, man. You just get tired, physically and mentally, and it's so draining. And Proverbs is right, anxiety weighs a man's heart down. But I love the back half of this verse. It says, but a good word makes his heart glad again. What could a good word be? There's no amount of self-help books that you can use to make your anxiety go away. There's no amount of alcohol that can numb the pain of your anxiety. There's no amount of drugs. There's no amount of sex that can numb the pain of your anxiety. So what is the good word that's going to make your heart glad again? The good word is the good news of the gospel. The fact that we have a suffering God that understands our anxiety, that understands our worry, because he lived in the sinful, wicked world that we did, except perfection, humbled himself and became a human and lived a perfect life in this crazy, sinful, suffering, wicked world. And then he died on the cross, defeating our anxieties, defeating suffering, defeating worry, defeating sin, all on the cross. And then he resurrected from the dead, defeating death, defeating sin, defeating suffering, defeating anxiety. The good word is that. It's the gospel. The gospel has this generational impact from old to new. It doesn't need to progress and adapt to society's culture, and it doesn't need to revert and retract or remove a little bit less. It has generational impact before us and after us to come. The gospel is good news every day. It's not something we listen to one time, we go, all right, I know this, I don't need it anymore. No, the gospel is good every day. And to be honest with you, the days that Bryce is having a sucky day, the days that Bryce is having anxiety creep on him, the days that Bryce sins the most, the days that Bryce is having a hard time, is the days that Bryce doesn't preach the gospel to himself. I have to preach the gospel to myself every day. And this is a call to you. You got to preach the gospel to yourself every day. The gospel is good news, and the gospel, love for Christ, love for what he did for us, should be our driving factor.